Okay, yeah, something's different. It's WrestleMania week. It is the biggest week in all of professional wrestling across WWE, across AEW, all of it. So I know I'm a little late to the party, but hey, I digress. So we're going to get into it today with some predictions. Keep in mind this video is going to be very pretty straightforward, low on the edits. We are just going to keep the ball rolling, give you my full candidacy as we go along. So disclaimer, these predictions, this prediction form that you are seeing on screen is actually coming from the Stash Club Wrestling Discord. This is an exclusive Discord that if you are a member for Stash Club Wrestling, either through the Patreon or YouTube, you get access to Discord where we do all these types of predictions. Disclaimer, I am not a part of Stash Club Wrestling. I am a Patreon member. I am just able to do the predictions, so let's just jump into it. Honestly, they do a pretty good job with structuring it, with coming up with some bonus questions, things like that. So let's jump into it. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do the thing. Cool. Alrighty. So night one, WrestleMania Las Vegas. First of all, we have Jade versus Naomi, who's going to win. So we have a couple of options here. We have Jade, Naomi, disqualification, no contest. People are calling this, people going into this are expecting this to be a squash. I mean, possibly, right? If we're looking at the whole grand shebang of all the matches that are going to be on both nights, there is a likelihood that some matches are going to end quicker than others. So, I mean, I hate to say that this will end in a disqualification, no contest situation. It is possible. So if I'm picking one right now, honestly, you know what threw me off? Bear in mind, I'm seeing this in real time. I did no preview of this, so I guess I'm a little hesitant now to select one or the other now that I see a third option of a disqualification. Based off of how the feud's been, building, it's likely that we could see something like that happen, right? But I do think there is going to be a select winner here. At least that was my mind going into this prior to opening up this prediction sheet. So I think with that, I do want to say and this is going to be a common thing throughout everyone, but my every fiber of my being is saying Jade, but then it's like maybe Naomi gets it. I don't think this is going to end in a disqualification. It very well could, but I think I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to go Jade. I think she's going to get her comeuppance. I think she's going to get her revenge. Maybe they continue to build the rivalry. We'll see what happens. So, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Not Chad Gable. It's pretty, yeah. All right, so Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Let's see who we are feeling. Honestly, I want to pick El Grande, right? I mean, Rey Mysterio has nothing really to gain from winning this match, right? This is the second time in a row Chad Gable is not featured on the WrestleMania card. Guys, it's El Grande Americano. Chad Gable got shafted again. So, but I do think it's going to be El Grande Americano who gets this, right? They may play into the story further after a win. So my gut tells me El Grande Americano is going to win. Will he be unmasked? I'm going to go with no. I'm going to go with El Grande Americano is going to retain the mask. He's going to continue to be the shroud of mystery in the what is it, SmackDown or Raw? He's getting on the main roster, and they'll still continue to have fun with it. So, all right. So moving on to our tag team championship match, the New Day versus the War Raiders. Who will leave with the titles? This one, I feel like it has to go one way here. I feel like it has to go to the New Day. I think it has to go to the New Day because at this point, this is an interesting one to bring up. Not to go too, deep into a tangent here, but I found that not having the SmackDown Tag Team Championships featured on WrestleMania as opposed to the Raw ones is kind of peculiar. I'm going to keep it honest here. The World Tag Team Championships on Raw haven't been the most interesting to follow. Honestly, the most interesting it's been was when it was The Miz and R-Truth being a tag team unit. The Awesome Truth, for as short-lived as that was, and then, turning it over to the Judgment Day, and then now we got it into the War Raiders' hands. That's fine. All respect to the War Raiders. I'm glad they've come back. I'm glad they've come back even stronger. But there just hasn't been any good momentum or build at all for this match. Most would say that they didn't even know this was happening, and I feel like the New Day had something really special going with their heel turn, but for one reason or another, it just fizzled out into kind of nothing. So we're taking a not too interesting tag team champions versus an uninteresting heel turn tag team, and we're just not really getting anything out of it. I feel like maybe something happens during the match, right? This is WrestleMania. I'm not really gonna go crazy into being bitter and upset about certain things from WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania. It's gonna deliver. Is every match gonna be a 5-star? No. Does it need to be? No. So but that's just my 2 cents on it. Again, hopefully not going too deep into a tangent, but I did anyway. So either way, I'm picking the New Day because ultimately I hope that this reinvigorates this bad guy, image that they have had, and I feel like they kind of lost. So I don't know. Let's see if there's any extra. Okay, so we have those bonus predictions. But if I were to make somewhat of a bonus prediction that I don't see here, there usually is like a predict one bonus thing. I'm not going to put that here as of yet, but for this match specifically, if I were to make one little bonus prediction as to what I think could happen, I want to say that Big E comes out to actually help support the War Raiders, right? Maybe he doesn't really get involved in like wrestling because of a neck injury, but maybe he goes out and like does kind of like a manager role or a manager approach to something. I don't know. It's just something I thought about recently, and I'm like, this it could happen, It very well could happen. So, who starts the match? So, select one person from each team that will begin the match. This means there has to be a physical encounter followed by the bell. If they all jump in simultaneously, I will be counting who continues with a one-on-one in the ring. One-on-one in the ring. Usually I just kind of pick, probably going to be Ivar and, let's go Xavier. Is it Xavier? No, it's Xavier. Yeah. I'm gonna go Woods. I'm not confident on my spelling with Xavier. So, who pins who? So, I think Kofi will get the pin, and let's just go Ivar. I don't. These ones are like so 50-50. There's no rhyme or reason to the logic that comes into my head. So, all right, moving on to our United States Championship match: Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. Who will leave as champion? We got to give it to Fatu. We have to give it to Fatu. I just strongly think that he will become champion. LA Knight just recently, in the grand scheme of things, he recently became champion after losing it to Shinsuke at War Games. And honestly, it's great. He was a great champion. It was good that he got it back. But it's Jacob Fatu's time. It's Jacob Fatu's time. Sorry, I keep hitting the cable. You're probably going to hear that. Whatever. All right, WWE Women's Championship, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair, who will leave as champions. So this is another, every fiber of my being is telling me like Tiffany. My heart is telling me Tiffany. My heart is telling me it's Tiffy time. There's so much good things that can come out of her being, leaving WrestleMania still as champion, her retaining, versus what I feel Charlotte will. Now, don't get me wrong. We all know Charlotte is on track to break her daddy's record, to break even John Cena's record right now. There's conversation of like, well, she wins it and then has it for 30 seconds, loses it, wins it again, rinse and repeat, right? During that whole cycle with like Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, etc. So I don't feel like she gets it right now. But this is where my brain is telling me, yeah, she's gonna win. She's gonna win, right? She's gonna come back as queen and stomp out the new blood and just be Charlotte Flair. I'm personally not a fan of that approach, but granted, it's wrestling. It doesn't even matter what I think. But again, I just feel like my heart is telling me Tiffany. My brain is telling me Charlotte Flair is the winner. I'm going to go with my heart on this one. I'm going to go Tiffy. I'm going to go Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffy time, right? Maybe they swerve it. I don't know, right? That's the beautiful part about these predictions, is that we're really not supposed to know. There is literally no rhyme or reason for any of this. But I think realistically, Charlotte Flair is going to be the winner, but I am going to select Tiffany Stratton as my prediction. So that could bite me in the ass, but let's keep it going. So, all right, World Heavyweight Championship match. Gunther versus Jey Uso. Who will leave as champion? I'm going. It's Jey Uso. It's main event. It's main event Jey Uso. Since Gunther's Raw promo, which as of recording today was yesterday. I mean, it definitely changed the balance a little bit in terms of, well, maybe Gunther does retain, right? But my whole thinking about this with Jey Uso is that, look, I'm all for long-term storytelling. I'm all for that long-form storytelling. I'm here for it. But at a certain point, we have to have an ending. We have to have an ending to this long novel, right? Not every storyline needs to be a Game of Thrones book. All right, we had our Cody Rhodes story. Everything going on with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. There's so many long form stories happening, and Jey Uso is one of the longest, right? Since going solo, since becoming main event Jey Uso, we got a good little short but sweet reign with the IC Championship. We loved that. If anything, that could have just been a little foreshadowing to his world heavyweight reign. So my thinking is that if we don't put the belt on Jey Uso, what was all of this momentum for? Because he's selling the most merch. He's controlling the crowd like to an unfathomable degree, and so on and so forth. Yeah, you want to get on him about his promo skills. Yeah, you can get on him about his only three move set, right? But either way, we're not talking about a Cody Rhodes championship reign here, right? He just has to cement himself as a solo champion, and I feel like this has to be it. This is the literal story of David versus Goliath, and I feel like David's got to come out on this one. So Jey Uso is going to be my pick. Let's see what happens, but I'm feeling more confident in that. I really hope that happens. So, all right, main event: Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Who will win? I think as it stands right now, Wiseman is still in CM Punk's corner. I don't really know what stipulation that adds. I mean, is Paul Heyman just gonna show up and I don't know, spear Roman? I don't know, but there's got to be a winner. So there's a lot of ways you can look at it, right? Does CM Punk actually win his first ever WrestleMania main event match, or does it go to Roman Reigns, the original Tribal Chief, or does it go to Seth, who's been playing this whole anti-hero, middle of the road shtick character for some time now? So I actually do want to say Seth Rollins based off of what we've been seeing with him and talking to the wise man and kind of getting in his head, talking to Roman, his anger towards CM Punk, right? Like there's a lot that Seth Rollins is doing that has me inclined to believe he'll win, or it could be Roman Reigns on top, right? But I don't think Roman Reigns is going to win. I do think it's going to go between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. So this is one of those you speak out loud and you kind of get it here, but I think I want to go. It's tough, man. It's tough. You have the three pillars here, right? This is not an easy selection, especially because there's no belt on the line, right? That does add the added weight of there's really no okay, if Roman wins, he's gonna keep being champion, or if CM Punk wins, there's none of that. This is just a straight up triple threat scenario here, so I'm gonna go CM Punk. I think it is going to be Seth Rollins, but I'm going to select CM Punk. So who takes the pin or is submitted? I think Roman Reigns is going to take the pin. Did I spell Reigns right? I feel like that's wrong. Oh, okay, it's right there. All right, yeah, I did spell it right. Yeah, I think Roman Reigns is actually going to take the pin. Who does Paul Heyman leave with? I'm going to go CM Punk. I think he's going to be a CM Punk guy. Yeah, I think he's going to be a CM Punk guy. CM Punk is going to be a Paul Heyman guy. Paul Heyman is going to be a CM Punk guy. So, awesome. All right, so we are moving on to night 2 of WrestleMania. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Who will win? My gut's telling me AJ Styles. A little bit of me is saying like, oh, Logan will win, right? But I think after this, last night's Monday Night Raw with AJ Styles' match against Karrion Kross, Karrion being so like, first of all, complete side note, but Karrion Kross's character is just on the up right now. He's doing such a great job, so I love to see it. But either way, I think what he was doing with AJ Styles was to, push AJ Styles to be a little bit more meaner, grittier, so on and so forth. So we'll go with AJ Styles taking the win this time. It's going to be a great match, right? People aren't hype about this match. I understand there's not really a build-up to it, but I mean, I don't know, guys. There's so many matches, right? Does every single one need to have some grandiose story, for it? I don't think so. I think sometimes you can just have a great WrestleMania match. I think this will be one of those. Bonus, who will Randy Orton's opponent be? Oh, snap. Yeah, I actually didn't think too much into this, even though it's a very big storyline happening right now, but I actually hadn't put too much thought into this, right? You want to say the obvious could be Nick Aldis. I feel like that honestly could be a pipe dream, but hey, I could be very pleasantly surprised come WrestleMania Sunday, so I don't know. I might just say Nick Aldis because immediately I don't have another answer, right? Kevin Owens, of course, isn't going to be there, right? At this point they would have included some type of triple threat scenario if he was to be included into a different match. But I'm just kind of bouncing around. Could be Solo. It might be Solo. Actually, I feel more confident selecting Solo than I do Nick Aldis. I'm going to pick Solo Sikoa. I think they want to find him a WrestleMania moment here. Maybe continue to build something. Although part of me does think Solo Sikoa is going to build a feud with Jacob Fatu. We've been seeing the breadcrumbs for that. So I don't know if this match in particular is going to lead into anything. But I feel more likely that this is just going to be like an AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. It's just going to be a WrestleMania match, right? If Nick Aldis was in here, are we going to get a whole Randy Orton versus Nick Aldis story? I don't think so. But I do think Randy Orton is going to win. So that's why I'm picking Solo Sikoa. Sin City Street Fight, Damien Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Who will win? I want to say Drew. But I want to say Drew's been eating losses, right? I feel like Drew's like 1-6 right now or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the exact record, but Drew has not had too many wins. I want to pick Drew, but I do feel like it's going to be Damien Priest. But I'm going to select Drew because it's a street fight. Although I think Damien Priest does have something special with street fights or something. I don't know. But we'll see there. So we might come back to this one. I don't know. I'm like less confident that I picked Drew, but that's the thing, man. You're not going to be confident about any of these. It's 50-50 for a lot of them. So, Women's Tag Team Championship match, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, who will leave with the titles. They're going to carry on this, they're going to carry on this this title reign for however long. Lyra Valkyria and Bayley aren't like really a tag team. It would be cool to see Lyra as a double champ, so maybe they do that angle. But I feel like Judgment Day has literally nothing going on besides this whole Dominic and Finn cracks that seem to be happening. But that's why I feel like they're going to keep the titles on them and just hopefully do something with them. So I'm going with the safe bet here, Liv Morgan and Raquel, who from each team starts. I'm going to go, it's going to be Raquel and Lyra. I think it's going to be Raquel and Lyra. Liv Morgan for sure isn't going to start. I'm saying that now. But, yeah. All right, moving on to what is, like, next to Jey and Cody is, like, my highly anticipated match is the Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. Who's coming out as champion? man, this is one of those situations where any 4 of these guys could be champion, and it will just make sense. Braun Breaker retaining. Okay, he's going to continue being that force to be reckoned with, right? Could even be like, I don't think we're going to get another Gunther IC reign from anybody else anytime soon, but I think that if there is going to be one person close to, it could be Braun Breaker. So if he wins, they could go that angle. If Penta wins, right, they're putting the championship on like one of the most, over debuted, or one of the most over new debuts that the company has seen recently, right? And it'll be explosive, it'll be great. Everyone's cheering for Penta to come right out the gates as champion. We love that. Great story, right? Then we have Finn Balor, right? Finn Balor hasn't had a single championship in so long, and he's been itching for it, and we're wondering, okay, is there going to be this push with Finn Balor? Is it coming soon? This could be it. Finn Balor walking out his championship. People are saying that it's like, oh, you might need to build him up a little bit more, and that, there's still something to happen to Finn. I agree, but I still think that if you put the championship on him, it still turns out good, right? Maybe this even furthers the cracks with him and Dom in Judgment Day. And then oppositely, you have Dominic Mysterio, who could walk out his championship, getting his first, singles championship in WWE, and it'll be great. Or on the main roster, not NXT. But it would be awesome. And again, you say the same thing, is that him and Finn Balor, one of them as champions is gonna obviously current or further break that crack that exists, and we have a great storyline to go, right? Hopefully moving the Judgment Day story into a much more positive position. So all that to say, if I have to pick a winner here, I think it's Dom. It's kind of a gut reaction, right? Again, like all 4 would make sense as champions, but if I have to pick one winner, I think it's going to be Dom. I think Dom is going to find his way to finally get his moment, and I think this is going to be it. Against 3 other crazy good superstars, yeah. Will the Judgment Day turn on Finn Balor? I guess it depends on this answer, but I'm going to put yes, because I feel like that's how Dominic is going to win. So we'll see. Who will take the pin? I think it's going to be Finn. I think Finn Balor is going to eat the pin. All right. Women's World Championship match, Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, who is leaving as champions. So it's my dog Io, man. That's my dog Io. Like, that's all I can say. Rhea Ripley, I don't think should win. Bianca Belair, as much as I would love for her to keep this WrestleMania streak that she has going, I feel like Io Sky should just win. I'm not going to get into this one I'm not really going to get into this one a lot. I say that now as I'm going to, do a whole bunch of word vomit here. But, I mean, I don't know, right? This match had the potential to have a great build-up. I'm not a fan of it, and it sucks because these 3 women on the main roster are my favorites, right? Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. Like, they're the big 3. I've already expressed this in a different video, but I just feel like the build-up for it hasn't been all that spectacular. That's fine, whatever. I still think this match is going to kick ass. It's going to be a great time. One thing I am adamant about is that if Rhea Ripley does come out of it, I'm going to be a little, I don't want to say the word concerned, but I'm going to be a little, okay, what are we doing? What's happening? What are we doing with Rhea Ripley's character? Is she overprotected? Is she overpowered? Is she, like, what is it? So, I don't know. I think Io should win. I think Io will win, and we'll take it from there. If Bianca wins, I'm cool with that. I don't know if there's a whole lot of storyline sense that makes sense there, but maybe it doesn't have to. Maybe we just get a new champion. I'm cool with that. If it's Bianca Belair, I'm cool with that. But I think Io Sky should win. So, who will take the pin? I think Rhea. I think Rhea Ripley is going to take the pin. Bum, bum, bum. All right, so Undisputed Championship. We have our controversially, whatever it is, we have our Night 2 main event. That's what I'm going to say. We have our Night 2 main event. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Who is coming out of it wearing the crown? Ooh, this one's hard. Okay, wait, before I get into that one, let me just go back to this one. Let me just, sometimes you just gotta vibe. You gotta look at the picture. I'm sticking with Drew. All right. I just wanted to feel more confident in that match prediction before I move on to this one. Excuse me. All right, so there are so many things you can do with this, right? This storyline has so much that can happen, right? Ideally, a lot of it is centered around John Cena. So it comes down to, well, does John Cena break the record as a heel, or does he do so later on as a babyface? We're in April. We're in the 4th month, right? So we're gonna have about 7.5 months of something to switch in John Cena before he goes face again. If he does go face again, right? Who's to say he just doesn't end his career as a bad guy? So does he break the world record, or does he break the record for, as a heel, or does he do that later on? Cody comes out of this WrestleMania still as champion. Something that a lot of people early on, when Cody first became champion last year, didn't think would happen, right? They didn't think that Cody Rhodes' reign was going to last this long. We are now, we are a year and some change since Cody Rhodes became champion. So do we keep this going, right? I'm not predicting a Roman Reigns reign, but it's they definitely could just keep Cody as champion for a little bit longer. Maybe Backlash. That's when Cena does something, but my gut is telling me Cody. My gut is telling me Cody Rhodes will retain. I think John Cena might win it later, but I don't know. See, it's funny when you say some things out loud and you're just like, but you know what, John? I'm going John. Final answer, I'm locking in John. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm going John. There's really not any rhyme or reason, but I do think that he will break the record as the bad guy. I think he's going to break the record as a heel, and later on we'll have some turn of face. I'm not going to get into that prediction. I'm just going to focus on this one. I think it's going to be John. But here's the bonus. Provide one prediction of a special celebrity guest or a returning superstar. This cannot be from a video package or promotion, live camera, or in-ring cameos only. Example, we see Vanessa Hudgens in the audience again, or a Becky Lynch return. Pre-show does not count. Well, I have one answer, and I think there's going to be a lot. I think it's going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. I cannot spell. Yeah, I think it's going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin who returns and does the thing. So, all right, let's just review. I'm not going to spend too much time changing answers or doing anything like that. So, all right. So night one, yeah, Jade or Naomi, DQ, no contest. I feel like this is just naturally where I want to go, but if I have to pick one, I'm going to pick one. It's going to be Jade. Grande Americano, I think, is going to win. I don't think he'll be unmasked. I think the New Day will win. I think they should win. I think Jake got Fatu. This, in terms of confidence level, this one is like one of the most confident, I feel like. Tiffany, I would hope to win. Again, I'm rocking a pretty low confidence on this one, but still. Jey versus Gunther, medium confidence, but I think it's going to be Jey. CM Punk, low confidence, but I think it'll be him. AJ Styles, high confidence, definitely going to be him. Randy Orton will win against whoever he has, so pretty high confidence. I'm guessing solo, no rhyme or reason. Drew McIntyre, pretty least confident on, but I think he'll win. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, pretty high confidence. Dominic Mysterio coming out with the win, medium to high confidence. Not too bad. Io Sky, kind of medium confidence. And then John Cena, pretty medium to high confidence, not going to lie. So I'm actually also pretty confident Stone Cold Steve Austin will return. I think it's confirmed that he will be in Las Vegas WrestleMania weekend. So, I mean, you put the two and two together. Plus also his Hall of Fame, or he has a Hall of Fame moment, I believe, with him and Bret the Hitman Hart. So, you put the two and two together. I mean, all right. So yeah, all right. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. All right. So I know different form of video today. I'm gonna it's gonna be kind of low edited. I really just wanted to do these predictions. I didn't have a whole lot of time to set my new camera up and get some time in the studio that I usually record in. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do it the good old fashioned way, talking to the camera. Y'all see what I see. Do it like that. So yeah, shameless plugs here. Yeah, I do stream on Twitch. This is kind of the layout here that you see during the live stream. We go over everything that is wrestling, WWE, AEW. We do the recaps, we do the breakdowns, we do predictions such as this. We play some games, whether that's WWE 2K or anything else, Final Fantasies, what I've been playing recently. We do a whole bunch of stuff. So come on over to the stream. Channel is always in the description and all that good stuff. So all right, yeah, that's really gonna be it. Let me know if you like this style of video. It's low maintenance, I suppose, but yeah. All right, so that's I think we'll just moist critical this one. All right, yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Yeah, see ya.